Hey everyone, I am Monty,
I'm Vinny.
It's your boy Q.
and the full season of Only Murders in the Building. We seen it. We left you guys off with the first, I think, 3 episodes that we were just trying out for size. We were impressed. We did like it, and the season is now complete, and it is, suffice to say, a huge success. It is rumored to be the most watched show on Hulu. They don't really give out their ratings and things like that, but a lot of third-party devices are like, by far, this is Hulu's biggest smash hit. Of course, starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, about a caper with podcasters and trying to solve a murder in their building. We've gone through all of them. Some of us have just recently finished. But anyway, we've gone through the whole thing. We're going to give you guys our assessment. We will start with the reason why we're here, which is it was her idea to do this. So, Vinny, tell us what you felt about the whole show.
I really enjoyed it. I liked the fact that since it was like held in an apartment building, we got to go through a lot of suspects, which kind of kept you on your toes. You never really knew who it really could have been. I also liked the way that Charles's character and Tim Kono's character lined up.
Oh, wait a minute, real quick. Spoiler alert now, we're going to spoil this, so I don't know why you be listening to us and not have watched this. We will spoil everything from this point on. So watch it first if you have not seen it. All right, go ahead.
So of course the murderer was Jan. Big spoiler right there. But I think it was so well done how they made Charles's character and Tim Kono's character line up so well, because they're both kind of seen as like the outcast and really disliked in the apartment building. And that's the reason why Jan kind of preyed on both of them. And I really did like that. I like the way that they ended it, so it kind of leaves you with a cliffhanger, so you know that there's going to be a second season. So yeah, I enjoyed it all.
Johnny Q, give us your breakdown.
Yeah, I agree with Vinny. I mainly like the fact that the only way that they were able to really solve the murder was that Charles Hayden Savage had to face his past, how to be able to open up himself, because that's really the only way that he really got to know and figure out that he was Jan. And one thing I really do like, because with when you make like shorter seasons like this, just 10 episodes, there's no such thing as a filler episode. You're just hitting it and quitting it. But also, I like the fact that for Jan, because it's not a movie, they can't give her a whole background story arc. But they did give her something, which was just funny to me. They explained why she killed Tim, not just because yes he broke her heart, but just because she's a psycho. One of her lines in the last episode was, "I don't like coming second best," and that was just, I don't know, that was just wonderful to me, because not a lot of people give the protagonist, the antagonist, a really good story arc on why they did whatever they did. So that was really well done. I also liked how in the first episode they did show Selena Gomez's character hanging over her body, and if you looked closely, it was a tie-dye t-shirt. I mean, a tie-dye hoodie. So you always, like, you thought after a while, oh my gosh, it's gonna be, I think his name was Oscar. You're like, oh shoot, I'm starting to like this character. Like, he's about to die. And in the end, you see it's not him, and you see him just in awe of the fact that his 3 new friends are about to go to jail. So yeah, I like the way they also left it off as a cliffhanger, because we're coming back next season bigger and better.
Well said. So I probably should have done this to begin with. Quick recap then. So the three people, Oliver, Charles, and Mabel, they working on the case. And as Vinny said, the great thing about this was it's in a huge apartment complex. So there are tons of suspects. They're combing through people, and it does a very good job. You think maybe it might be one person at first. For a little bit, you think maybe it's Mabel, because she didn't tell them she knew Tim. And then Oscar comes into the picture, and it's like, is it Oscar? Oscar had a beef. Tim, and then the Deli King and his son. There's a whole arc over that, which is very good as well. Played by Nathan Lane, who's a very great actor as well. A lot of people are moving parts in this. Jan, played by Amy Ryan, if you know, remember Amy Ryan from The Office, that's Holly, and she's also on The Wire. She comes in the picture and is really kind of throws you off because she's trying to help and figure it out, and she's a bassoon player. I'll tell you this: I was very worried, as Johnny Q said, I was very worried when she kind of told her motivations, how she doesn't like to be in second. I'll be honest, I felt like had she kept going, that first girl in the bassoon chair was gonna get it pretty soon. I mean, she already killed old boy. I really was like, I don't know how long this is gonna go, but she might be going for this girl next. But they figured it out, and it was really good. And I had to say, this is one of the great cliffhangers in a show because I had totally forgot about the start. I totally forgot about Mabel. I remember when I saw Oscar in the hoodie, someone kept trying to trigger my memory. I was like, I don't know why I keep thinking about this hoodie, and I totally forgot. But so the cliffhanger is Mabel is laying over the body of the lady who's over the board, the apartment board, who was threatening to throw all of them out, and it's a great stoppage there. I don't know if I've ever seen a show where the cliffhanger is not even dealt with from the whole season. I mean, they literally start out with that, and then they go with that. So let's now get to overall. Anybody's on the table, your favorite character from the show. Johnny Q, I will start with you. Your favorite character overall out of I mean, it doesn't have to just be the main person, your favorite person overall.
Ooh, overall, it would have to be, yeah, it's Oscar for me, absolutely. Because one, I mean, you got to think about his aspect. He really portrayed that really well. I can't think of the actor's name right now, but just getting out of prison, Aaron Dominguez, just getting out of prison, right? Seeing one of your best friends when you were a child, right? And you never actually committed the murder you've been told. That was really, he portrayed that really well, because at first he's like, hey, I just want to live a normal life. I want the whole murder, I want all that to be over with. I want to renew my life with like his old best friend. I mean, he was trying to make a girlfriend. That was really portrayed so well to me. That's why I really kind of grew attached to him. Second best would have to be the Deli King. Man, he played his part so well, protecting his son. I mean, that's how we found out why Tim didn't say anything about Oscar, because he knew he was gonna kill Mabel. So I mean, which is also kind of weird. Why did both the guys in the friend group feel something for Mabel? I mean, that was a call. Anyways, I really liked how that portrayed itself really well. Him and his son. That whole death episode, that was one that was really culturally cool. That was like culturally appropriate. That was nice. But yeah, those three characters in particular, I feel like they portrayed their parts the best.
Nathan Lane played Teddy Demas, who was the Deli King as well. And then I will find the son quickly. Vinny, your favorite character?
So I wanted to say Mabel at first, but honestly, I'm just gonna have to give it to Jan. Because honestly, I like when characters and like villains and antagonists, they don't have like that sad story where it's like, oh, this and this and this happened to me. But it was just like Jan was just purely evil. Like she had no real motive other than she wanted to do wrong to these two men that she didn't even really know. And I think I just really enjoyed that about her character. But of course, my second best would be Mabel, just because, I really enjoyed how Selena played the character and she portrayed it. And even when Oscar came back, how you could tell that like her whole spirit kind of changed when he was back. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna go with Martin Short. I loved Oliver. He was just a hot mess the whole time. Just I know you guys are not old enough to really know Martin Short, but that's basically he's not even acting. That's just how he is. He's just all over the place. He's comic relief, but he in a sense was really pushing to get this for ulterior motives because he wanted the podcast to be hot, but he really, because Charles wanted to quit at one point. Even Mabel was like, man, I don't know, but like Oliver is just come on, come on, come on, come on. I loved him. I'm gonna be honest. Hate to break your heart, Johnny Q. I kind of hated I hated Oscar. I really did. I didn't really. I don't know. I just didn't really feel like we needed. Like I don't know what. It was a little bit he brought to it, but I'm just like he just wasn't doing it for me. Like I just felt like, and then I felt she got so attached to him so quickly. Like
But doesn't that make the story even more beautiful? The fact that like she won, I mean, technically Oscar is her only piece left of her past, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
is left of Tim. That's Oscar's the only piece left. So him like, hey, wait, maybe let's stop. That's why she was maybe rethinking her life focus so she can move on. That was her mom's whole thing. Let's move on, right? And then the fact that she switched his mind and now they're both working on this together. You didn't think that was
Well,
like
what
amazing?
was the better budding relationship? Was it Oscar and Mabel, or was it Jan and Charles? Which relationship? Of course, Jan and Charles took a terrible turn, but which I like the formation of Jan and Charles better because they kind of just were very cautious. Very, it's like they took a couple episodes. Oscar and Mabel just all of a sudden, I just thought it was a little too fast. Maybe that's what I feel like.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
there's nothing comparing into Charles and Jan, nothing, because like they got to meet each other. They got to his stunt double came back from the past. They gave each other cute
Oh,
life stories.
you know
Jane
what?
Lynch,
I
yeah, Jane
love
Lynch
Jane Lynch.
killed that.
She was outstanding. I really does kind of look like Steve Martin. It was really
Yeah,
eerie. Like Brazos, yeah. She was great. She only was in like an episode and a half, maybe, but she was outstanding. Jane Lynch came in. That was the thing about it. Like, uh, people just kind of came and gone. It was a big cast, but so also there was another part in this that I really liked because let me find her. Man, I don't want to butcher it, but the cop starts out in the first episode. It's a female detective, and she kind of just rolls her eyes as soon as this whole thing starts. Like, we don't need no help. Tim Kono, who was the guy that was murdered, he killed himself. Open and shut case. And so she finds out there's a podcast going on, and as sometimes maybe people in law enforcement do, they get defensive because they don't want people snooping around in their work. But she does find some regularities. So what she does is she feeds the podcast people some information to keep them on the trail without implicating herself, because she says, I don't want to reopen a case because I'm trying to get a promotion and it looks bad if I reopen a case. And I wonder if that's a real thing. Not that people would use it. I wouldn't say law enforcement uses podcasters, but I wonder if they use like another detective they know, like, hey, maybe I missed something. Can you check on it, since I can't check on it again? Because they don't like to be proven wrong. I thought that was a very good twist. As well, even though they got it wrong still, because they were trying to implicate. Yeah, they still messed that up, and they were trying to implicate the Deli King, and they thought they had him, and it was ended up being the wrong person, which is probably why you don't want to put podcasters in there.
but they still got to solve the murder
Well,
because it wasn't Oscar, and I think that is true. Cops all the time use like snitches on the street, or they'll have certain inmates on payroll because like they have better insight on like criminal mind. That's actually true.
And I'm sorry, her name is Divine Joy Randolph. Okay, Divine Joy Randolph played Detective Williams. So yeah, I believe so. She was using them as a snitch part. I also love the podcast groupies. I thought that was great. That's a real thing as well. People just be camping out, trying to help. It was so many people coming in and out at some point. So let me now ask you guys this. Did you ever suspect Jan? And if you did, when? Vinny, I will start with you. Did you ever, because I was looking at everybody at some point, did you ever suspect Jan? And if you did, when?
Yeah, so it was kind of around the time when they were on their little Scrabble date or whatever, and they were trying to like go through Tim Kono's phone. I don't know, she seemed too happy to want to help. Like, mind you, in a sense, she didn't even really know Tim Kono. That's what we were going off of, that she didn't really know him, but she was so happy to help. And it was kind of throwing me off. I was like, I don't really know. But then I kind of just like thought it wasn't real when she got stabbed. I was like, oh no, it wasn't her. But of course, it was still in fact her. But yeah.
John, did you ever suspect her, or did you just get blindsided by it?
Absolutely, positively blindsided. And generally I can guess an ending of an episode or like a show. because she was so. I mean, yeah, and then of course, like that was the cover of tracks because she was so helpful, and like the fact that she kept trying to like, honestly, real reason I think was her because she kept saying no, guys. What about the cat? What about the cat? Come to find out, is because she actually didn't know why the cat was there. She wanted to know,
Yeah.
like that's why she was trying to figure out what's that guy's name. Howard, I think he's the one that had the cat.
Yeah. The cat.
I was, and then like what sealed it absolutely for me. I mean, like I said, of course, the whole cat thing, but her stabbing herself, ingenious because first she had the note on her door. Was that her, Oliver? No, I think that was her. Stop the pot. You're next or something. And then she got stabbed.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then she had to get
Well,
stitched for it, which means it was a deep cut. Never thought it was her.
now the thing that you hit it, I started to suspect her because she kept going to the cat guy, like, guys, but what about the guy with the cat? What, like, she, by the second time, I was like, yo, why does she keep? Now the stabbing did kind of throw me off, but Charles or Oliver makes a great point because he's like, wait a minute, why would the killer leave you alive? Like, really? Like, Oliver was very much not feeling her at all. He didn't like her pizza rolls, all of that stuff. But when she kept going to the, and I was just like, why? But when they dismissed her, I did kind of like forget it. Like, well, maybe they just, because so many people were coming in the house at that point trying to figure it out. So anyway, um, she really played that well. So again, guys, so they leave us at the point now where we have a whole. It was just the ending was so well done. We have a whole nother set of now they call it murderers in the building. Also, there is I think now Tina Fey is in this as well. Tina Fey is like a podcaster person who they went to for advice and things like that. And then she kind of sees, so they all the crew gets arrested. They get in the car, and Tina Fey watches them and her assistant. They watch them drive off, and so I wonder if she's going to kind of. I wonder if next season is going to be where it's her podcast now, and the gang is being investigated, and she's kind of going to carry the narrative while they try to clear their name. I just wonder. I don't know if you guys have any expectations for season 2, but if you do, let's hear them.
No, I have expectations for season 2. Absolutely. I don't know if she's gonna try to clear their name because like you saw how hyped she got when her assistant came up with yeah, she got super hyped. She was like that's mine now. Like only murderers in the building.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna clear their name. If anything, she's gonna try to incriminate them the more. And like the season finale of that would be, oh, they actually didn't do it. Because even this is just my opinion. I think they're gonna have the cops help. Divine's help. They're gonna, because she said don't say anything because one, they just solved 2 crimes within the span of like what 3 months. So there's no, but because of like the legal system, they had to arrest them because it looks like it was them. So she's gonna be a really big factor in season 2. I feel like they're gonna increase her story arc with her and her unborn child, all that stuff. I think she's gonna help them not be incriminated as Tina Fey is going to try to incriminate them the more.
Yeah. Any expectations?
I do have to agree with Q. I was thinking of that when, she did get hype. I was like, I feel like she's gonna become a really big part of the story just because like she sees them as a marketing tool now because their whole podcast had gotten really big and now they're seen as suspected murderers. And it's like, okay, she's going to find a way to build off of this. She's not gonna be like, oh, I'll try to help you all out because this is her way of getting money. And I think I definitely think that her podcast is going to take on a really big storyline. I also do think that the cop is going to somewhere or another try to piece it together because they've been such a big help to her. But other than that, I don't even know. I don't know what's going to really happen. It's all kind of confusing to me.
Yeah. From a podcaster, I think Tina Fey's character, you really just care about content. So whether they're guilty or not, let me squeeze as many episodes out of it. That's another reason why I didn't think it was the Deli King, because it's like, why would he be sponsoring the podcast, investigating him? That was crazy. But you get the sponsorships, you get the money up. I'm sure Detective Williams will be in this. Now, Johnny Q, this is where your boy Oscar will come in handy because he's already done some hard time. So he can probably help them out as well. That's That's the good part about knowing.
Yeah.
He'll probably play a much more prominent role, I'm sure. And again, there's a bunch of tennis still. The cat guy, the old lady was mean to everybody. So who knows? You know that the African lady.
Oh yeah, it was Bunny. I don't know how I forgot about that.
Bunny, right? Bunny. There we go.
Yeah.
So we will see, guys. But we thoroughly enjoyed it. Very well done. Again, I'm really surprised. I would love to hear how they even decided to cast this because when I heard Steve Martin and Martin Short, I immediately was like, okay. And then with Selena Gomez, and it just made no sense. I'm like, how did they get these three people together, like two old guys and a young girl? But it really worked. Um, Props to Selena Gomez. Again, I don't know a whole lot about her, but I like that she was the straight person basically to these crazy two guys because you need somebody to be the straight person. I felt she did a good job. So, any closing thoughts on Only Murders in the Building? Also, I'm glad because I kept saying to myself, Only Murderers in the Building. I'm like, no, that's not what the show's called. It's Only Murders. I said, why don't we just call it Murderers? Now I'm glad we have that. So, any closing thoughts?
I just have to agree with Divinity's first statement. The fact that there were so many moving aspects, and honestly, because there were so many people in the I can't even think of the place, the apartment complex, they got a lot of extra help because like somebody had to have seen Tim, somebody had to have talked to him at least once or twice. So yeah, it was just a really cool aspect. The fact that it wasn't really just these three; it was so many moving parts outside of them that helped them find the murder. It was a great show.
Yeah, very good, very good. Any closing thoughts, Vinny?
Well, one thing I really hope that in the next season we can kind of get to see Mabel getting more closure because of course during this whole season, you know, she's constantly dealing with the loss of so many friends that she had. So I hope that now, you know, she can kind of just move on with her life more, so to speak. I hope that yes, Oscar does kind of help a lot with this, but other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Wait, what do you mean by more closure? Both her friends' crimes were solved,
but she never got to really mourn it. Like she just moved on. She never really mourned Zoe because he was incarcerated. She didn't mourn Tim because she immediately jumped on the podcast. She never really had the time to mourn the loss of her friends.
Also, they did have a small arc with her mother and some home stuff, and they kind of touched on that. So I'm sure. I mean, her mother seemed like a tough kind of broad, so she wasn't no good for no game. I'm sure we'll see something where she's coming to the prison raising a ruckus. But yes, we will look forward to that. I'm sure now this is probably their big cash cow, so it will not be long before we see the next season coming out because it got such great ratings. Some big shows, guys. Big shows been out, man. Squid Game, now this heavy hitters coming out. So please stay with us. We got more coming out, guys. I think you'll see this first, but if you do see this first, we do have Dune coming out as well. I'm excited to talk about Dune. Another young actress, although she wasn't featured as much, Zendaya, but a lot of people in that as well. So stay tuned, guys. Of course, this is the We Seen It Crew, Mighty Sharp Network. You know what to do. I want you to be blessed. Stay sharp.